All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay Kaitzer, and I am a current fourth year business administration major at Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. Like I said, I'm a business major with a concentration in human resources and management and a minor in psychology. Really long title, but there it is. I'll kind of dive into what that means as we go through this. But my pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a fourth year, which is really scary. I'll be graduating, I guess, soon. So for all you guys looking to go to college, it goes by fast, but it's truly so wonderful. Really quickly, if you guys have any questions, please there's a little question at the a comment thing with a question mark. Please put any questions y'all have in there, and I'm happy to answer them as we go along. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about different ways to get involved at Cal Poly. And really quickly, just a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm a business major. I'm also a Cal Poly ambassador. I'm a part of an organization called PolyReps. So we're the official university ambassadors of the university, which is honestly so fun. There are about 40 of us. It's a club. I will definitely be plugging it in later. And I also am a student assistant for the Welcome Center, so we're kind of like a branch off of admissions. And I've been a part of Greek life during my time at Cal Poly, so I have some experience in different things to really get involved in. Just to preface everything I'm going to talk about here, you can find out once you're at Cal Poly. We have a ton of club pop-ups. We do something called Week of Welcome, which is your very first week at Cal Poly for all of our transfers and first years. And we do a club fair and you get to see all 300, 400 of our clubs. It is crazy, but it is honestly so cool to see all the things Cal Poly has to offer. So that's just one instance when you'll see it. For open house, for once you get accepted into Cal Poly, we have our open house day to come and look at the university, and we have a ton of different club fair and club showcases there. So all of this is accessible once you get onto Cal Poly, but also it's all over our website, and you can type in club directory and it's going to come up with so many different things. It might overwhelm you, but I would dive in because it's honestly so cool. So and they also have social medias everywhere. If you type in Cal Poly blank blank blank, it'll get you taken care of. So we are going to go ahead and dive in. So like I said, if y'all have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm super happy to answer them. Ask in the chat, ask in the little question mark dealio thing. So I'm really good at Instagram, if you can't tell. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. First and foremost, with it being a university, you're going to college, we have academic ways to get involved, which is great, right? So we have a club for basically every major that we have to offer. So we have kinesiology clubs, we have public health, we have psychology, engineering, but just those are just major based. But even within just your major, there's a human resources club, so that would be for my concentration. They're also fun academically centered clubs. So there's the human powered vehicle club, and that's an engineering club. We actually, subtle flex here, set the record for fastest human powered vehicle, which is kind of cool. I believe it was 63 miles an hour. That blew me away. So honestly, so proud of them. But that's a really fun thing that honestly anyone can get involved with. We also have the Quality of Life Plus Lab, which is something great for students to get involved with. It's when people from the community come to us and say they need a prosthetic or want help gaining accessibility in their lives, they come to Cal Poly, they come to our Quality of Life Plus Lab, and we make that happen. We actually had a little boy from the community. He needed a prosthetic arm, and this lab built him a prosthetic, and he was really into Legos, so they actually put a Lego base on the prosthetic, and he could build Legos, and he built a sword off of it, and it was very sweet and it was very cute. But that's a great example of one, giving back to the community, two, getting to practice. That was great for our biomedical engineers, and three, it's also a fun class or fun club that you get to interact and meet people. We have like the preschool learning lab, which is great for our students to get involved with. You can work there, you can learn a lot, and that's where you get to like, if you're in early child like development, and like education, you actually get to like do research, like observing children. And that actually brings me into the next one, is doing research with professors is huge at Cal Poly. Like, oh my goodness, the amount of students I know who are a part of research teams as undergrad students. One of my roommates, he has, I believe, two published, his name's on two published research studies as an undergrad student. And I was like, Alex, what does that mean? I'm a business student. I don't exactly do very much research. And he told me, he's like, that is, not gonna lie, it's a game changer. Most students don't get published until they are like in grad school, and Alex is gonna come out as an undergrad with I think 2 or 3 published papers. My friend Neil is on a research team. He's on a chemistry research team doing drug chemistry, and he's combating Ebola and anthrax. So I found that out recently, and I thought that was the coolest thing literally ever. And so you get to really get involved with the research team. You get a lot of hands-on experience that most undergrads will pretty much, at other universities our size, hard to come by. So that's something that we're really proud of. You also can be an ambassador for your respective college. I really quickly, just to break down, Cal Poly is the university. There are 6 colleges within it. So I'm a part of the Orfalea College of Business. We have the College of Engineering, the College of Architecture, the College of Agriculture, and Food Sciences. And let's see, COSAM, which is our College of Science and Math, College of Liberal Arts, I believe that is all of them. Oh, Architecture and Environmental Studies, or Environmental Design, I'm sorry. And so you can be an ambassador for each of them. I've heard like the business ambassadors, it's a really, really great community to be a part of, and like they love representing their college, and it kind of adds like some spirit into what you're doing, and be like proud and say, yes, this is my home, this is what I'm learning, and look at all the cool things we're doing. Like, we're number 2 in entrepreneurship in the nation. Again, subtle flex, but like that's something we're super proud of. And so those are some really, really cool programs to like be a part of, just within your own college. Moving next now into sports, that's so if you guys have any questions about academics, like how to get involved with your academics, please don't hesitate to ask. But we can go ahead and move on now into sports. There are 3 different levels of sports at Cal Poly. There's D1, and that's your typical like NCAA. Like, we once made it to March Madness. It was pretty cool. And that's where you get like your baseball, basketball, cross country, all that stuff. Track and field, one of my best friends is actually, she's a pole vaulter for Cal Poly, so really proud of her. Her name's Brooke. She's like one of the best in the state, so go Cal Poly sports. Then we have, and that's where you like represent the university on just like the national level. Then you have club sports, which also represents Cal Poly. Some of our club sports, I believe, actually play against like other schools, like D1 sports, which is kind of cool. But we have a few more like different club sports, and that's like we have lacrosse, rugby, triathlon. Also, if you're interested in triathlon, 10 out of 10 would recommend triathlon team here at Cal Poly. They are incredible people, and I just cannot recommend it enough. Personally, I don't even know how to ride a bike, but I'm just a big fan of theirs. So it's a great thing to be a part of. So club, you also get to travel a little bit, and you still get to represent Cal Poly. You get like free merch, like a backpack, shirts. It's kind of dope. But it is not the full time commitment as a D1 sport. And then last but not least, we have Intramurals, and that is basically Cal Poly's league. Now, there are 3 divisions within Intramurals. There's D1, D2, and D3. D1's if you played soccer your whole life and you're like, I'm ready to continue that, you just don't want to dedicate as much time, like for club and your NCAA D1. So D1 Intramurals is just Cal Poly's league, but that is intense. Like, you are throwing elbows, you are like ready to fight. D2's like, you're pretty good, you played in high school, like you're ready for it, but you're not ready to, take one for the team kind of thing. And D3 is if you played basketball your whole life and you're going to try soccer for the first time. It's you and your friends that you meet in your residence halls the second you move into college, and you're like, hey, we should do something fun. And everyone joins a soccer team, whether you have played or not played, and just goes out and has an incredible time. I remember that happened my freshman year. A ton of my friends from our residence hall joined a basketball team together, and a few of us would make like posters for them, and we made like little like goodie bags. Like, do y'all ever have like your parents put like little orange slices and like gummies and Capri Suns? So good. So that's what we did. We did that for them, and it was honestly so fun. Then we'd go get froyo after on campus, and it was great memory that I have from my freshman year. So 10 out of 10 would recommend getting involved in sports at Cal Poly, whether that be even just like watching. You also can go to our sports games for free. So if you want to go see our football games, we are a part of the largest collegiate soccer rivalry in the nation. It is between us and UC Santa Barbara. And they put up a good fight. They do. I will give it to them. But it is honestly just such a fun event. We all get to go for free. And that just is a great way to get involved, honestly. It's just going, feeling that school spirit, and really just like being energized from the university. And just, it's a great feeling. There is, I swear to goodness, like gold and green glitter all over the city the next day. And it's just such a fun time. So the way that most people think that you get involved at your university is through different clubs. So I'm going to kind of dive into that. So with clubs at Cal Poly, like I said, there are going to be tons of them, and everything from like hummus club to your like chemistry clubs, anything like that. So we have a club directory on our website. So if you are interested in any of these or want to see what we have to offer, if I don't mention one, please check out our club directory. Just type it into Google and you'll be good to go. And if we don't have one on the list, and I think there are like 300 something on that list, it's super easy to start your own club. My friend Anna did. She started the ukulele club. She is also a PolyRep, and that, don't worry, that's on this list. I know you're all excited. So, which you should be. It's incredible. So, to start out, a question that we get a lot, that I get on tours, is questions about Greek life. And so we do have your traditional fraternity, sorority that you might think about. But we also have a ton of like multicultural fraternities and sororities, and that's more identity based, and those are incredible. My friend Zanae was really involved in hers, and she absolutely loved it. We also have like community service fraternities. We have academic fraternities and sororities. So we have like just two business fraternities and sororities, like on our own. I believe they are just fraternities. My friend Kara is a part of her like chemistry fraternity, and so very like so vast. Greek life is more than what, like I said, that traditional. And also one thing I do want to say is my little thing about Greek life. Like I said, I've been involved in it, and I loved my time in Greek life. And the way I like to say it is, if you want it, great, we have it, and it's a great community to be a part of. If it's not necessarily your thing, totally fine. We have 300 other clubs to be a part of, and so we're not a school where it's like Greek life or bus kind of thing. It's Greek life or 5,000 other things to be a part of. So totally get involved. But I'm about to list a whole bunch of other things to get involved in. So we also have really great like a Mustang news program, which is where they tape like, we have our own newspaper. They do like news shows. We also have, and they won 33 awards last year. So like, I mean, I haven't won an award in I don't know how long. So very cool flex for them. Very proud of them. And we have, I believe, one of like the top newspapers, and we do have the top, or one of them, radio stations. college radio stations. That's called KCPR. My friend Natalie was really involved in it. She would tell me how she would bring in like local bands from the community and from Cal Poly, and they would come and play for the radio station, and her face would light up, and it was just such a cool thing to see. But we have great programs for that. We also have, if any of you are familiar with TED Talks, we actually put on our own. We have TEDx Slow, and so we work with TED Talks, and we put on our own here. My same friend Zanae, she was also a PolyRep. She actually gave a TED Talk, so kind of like a bucket list item is to give a TED Talk, and Cal Poly can make that happen, so I think that's pretty cool. We also have a, Poly Satellite Club. And if you're like, what's a Poly Satellite Club? Well, I'll tell you. It's basically where we casually partner with NASA and send satellites into space. I mean, pretty cool, I'm going to say. So it's, you actually get paid to be a part of Poly Satellite Club, which I recently learned, and I think that is pretty cool. A ton of other schools have adopted it, but this is going to be just another one of those subtle flexes. Cal Poly actually partnered with NASA to start that program. So, all I'm saying. And the last club I am going to talk about is one that is near and dear to my heart, is PolyReps. And so, like I said, we are the official university ambassadors of Cal Poly, and we are tour guides, so there are only about 40 of us every year, and we stay on once we get in, then we stay until we graduate, and it is such a wonderful community to be part of. I've honestly learned so much, besides the fact of being able to walk backwards without tripping. I mean, I still trip sometimes, but honestly, you learn so much, and the people, technically, we get to make a difference, and we get to kind of like represent Cal Poly to all of you, to people who are prospective students, their supporters, things like that. And it's honestly just such a great way to get involved, and it's something I'm so proud of, and you get to feel like the Cal Poly spirit, and we also get to highlight different organizations that some students may not know about, and it's just a really cool thing. So if that interests you, walking backwards and showing off an incredible university, then 10 out of 10 would recommend joining PolyReps when you get to Cal Poly. We also, for those of you who are interested in like the performing arts, we have different programs. We have like theater programs. We have a beautiful new performing arts center. 10 out of 10 would recommend. We have a ton of different music groups. We have an improv comedy group, which is called Smile and Nod. We have different a cappella groups, dance groups. You can be a single, you can do it in a group, you can do it in a trio, whatever your heart desires. We want you to get involved. And really just dive into all the different performing arts opportunities that we have at Cal Poly. If you want to get involved in different shows that we put on, you 100% can audition for those and join that. And so honestly, there's so many different options for you that I would definitely dive in and check it out. Another thing I would like to hit is our new student and transition programs. Not only are pretty much every student at Cal Poly participants in these programs, but you can then become like a leader. And we have 3 different new student and transition programs. So you have WOW, which is Week of Welcome, Slow Days, which is our summer program, and Open House. So I'll kind of go through those. So Open House is when you first get into Cal Poly, and that spring, we welcome you and we say, come see our campus, and that's where we have another one of those club showcases. You get to walk around, see all the incredible things, really just feel the atmosphere of the university, and it's a really great thing. You get to learn a lot, and kind of like it might help you make your decision. Next, we have Slow Days, which happens over the summer. That's about a weekend. You come and stay on campus, learn a little bit more, walk around the campus, try to get a feel a little bit more, and you just like meet people, and you have roommates, and it's kind of nice. I don't know, you just get kind of like a nice feeling, and like a little intro before you dive straight in. And then last is Week of Welcome, which is WOW. And that is I believe we have like one of the top programs for new, like, welcoming in students. And we had over like 800, 900 WOW leaders. And two of them will take a group. My roommate and I were actually co-WOW leaders together. We had, I think, 18 freshmen. My roommate and I, his name's Jonas, we were sophomores at the time when we were WOW leaders, and we had 18 freshmen in our group. We did everything from kayaking to, it's been a while. We did kayaking, we went to the beach to watch sunset. We took them down to farmers market and like the movies downtown. We went on hikes. Like, it was honestly just incredible, and you really get to bond. And so you're either, when you come into Cal Poly, you're a participant, or once you become like a second, third, or fourth year, however long, you can, like I said, get involved in these. And so you can be a WOW leader, and you can be one of 900 very enthusiastic Cal Poly students ready to welcome in the new incoming class and our transfer students. And you can be a slow days leader and welcome those students over the summer, make them feel right at home. Or you can be a part of the open house committee and help put together an event that might sway students to go to Cal Poly, which is really exciting. We also have Associated Student Incorporated, which is almost like our student government, like that you might have in high school. But there are a few differences. Is our Associate Student Incorporated also runs a ton of like the events and the logistics. They run our rec center and things like that. And the second difference is that your budget is probably somewhere in the thousands at your high school. Cal Poly likes to just bump that number up just a little bit to, I believe, around 17 million. Yeah, I'll let that number sink in. Kind of crazy, but it is for our students, run by students. And so if you are student government all the way, go ahead and continue that once you get to Cal Poly. Or if you want to work for our Associated Student Incorporated as an employee, you can work the school events. When we put on events like goat yoga, and we bring in a ball pit, or like a Ferris wheel, I think we had in the University Union, which is like a central area on campus. Or you can work in the rec center. My friend Alex, he worked in the rec center, and so he would go like open it up, and he was called a facility supervisor, and you can go and work in the rec and have a great time with that. You can be a lifeguard, do all that stuff, and it's a really, really good time. So last is I kind of started talking about work a little bit, and that's where you can, starting off, you can be a resident advisor. So every residence hall will have at least one resident advisor to kind of help the first years or anyone who lives on campus get adjusted and feel welcome and feel like they have support. You also can work for various offices of the university. That could be housing, that could be admissions, kind of like what I do. Work for the Disability Resource Center, helping students feel supported and things like that, and know their options. So you also can work for our campus health and well-being center, which is great because you can help support students with their mental health and physical health, and it's great. And it's something that it's a resource I 10 out of 10 would recommend for any student to use, but also getting involved is it's a very cool thing. You can work at dining. That's definitely a thing a lot of students do. Working in our brand new dining facility, working at Chick-fil-A, whatever your heart desires, You also can be a personal trainer, or you can teach, you can be an instructor for active classes at the recreation center. So if your dream has always been to be a SoulCycle instructor, well, Cal Poly is here to make that dream come true for you, which is crazy, which is so cool. You can also be a Zumba instructor. Honestly, that seems pretty cool to me, I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, you can be a lifeguard, you can just work in as like a facility supervisor. You also can work for different organizations in the community. The same friend who was working in the chemistry lab, he is also volunteering in the hospital. My friend Steph also works in the hospitals here in SLO, and so you can volunteer, get a lot of experience, and they really welcome Cal Poly students to get involved. You can be a teaching assistant for your professors. You can be workshop leaders for students. If there's an especially hard class out there, these classes will offer workshops led by students to help them through the class and to help learn. So it's a very, very cool thing. But if you have not gathered from this, there are endless ways to get involved at Cal Poly. Honestly, as I was going through this list and I was prepping, I was blown away by there were so many things out there that I was just like, wow, we offer all of that. My job is to give tours of this university, and I'm always blown away and so proud, and I'm honestly excited to learn about all the things that are out there that I hadn't yet known. So that's a little bit of how to get involved at Cal Poly, but I would love to answer any questions if anyone has one that they'd like to put in the chat or in like the little question bubble. But the one thing as I am waiting for questions to come in, the one thing I do that I am so proud to say about Cal Poly is that regardless of what you get involved in, the community here at Cal Poly is I haven't seen anything like it, and in the most incredible way. And every person at this university is so truly invested in bettering their lives, bettering the lives of others, being a part of this community. The reason why I chose Cal Poly is because I walked on campus, looked a little lost when I was touring and trying to figure out my way, and a student came up to my parents and I and said, "Hey, you look lost, walk with me." I was in high school and I was terrified and lost, because that's what happens when you walk onto a college campus you've never been to before. And basically he's like, "Walk with me," and he talked with me just about all these different things at Cal Poly, and it was so incredibly kind and welcoming. And basically the point of that story also turns out he was an ambassador for the university, which I think is pretty cool. But the point of that story is whatever you get involved in, the people that you're going to find at this university are the most welcoming and supportive people. And so whether it be diving into your academics, whether that be joining a sorority, whether that be joining like a dance group or getting a job as a resident advisor, you will be surrounded by some of the most incredible people you will ever find. And that's something that I am so proud about, and to say that that's what you find here at Cal Poly. So that's a little bit about how to get involved. I'm going to check, see if we have any questions. It does not look like it. So that's going to go ahead and be my sign off, but please let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead and email admissions@calpoly.edu if you do. Again, my name is Lindsay Kaitzer. I'm a fourth year Cal Poly student, and it's been so fun talking to y'all today. And let me know if you have any questions, but have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful start to your week. Let us know if you have any questions about Cal Poly. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.